y'all, I'm back on. I want to see if I can get through this video before my kids wake up. They're still sleeping. So, kitty, get down. All right, so heaven on earth. Let me start by saying that I believe that a lot of us feel like we're awakening right now, like we're here with the specific mission to raise vibrations or raise consciousness on earth, to heal ourselves, to heal the world, to transform our own lives, to transform the world, because I believe that we're a collective consciousness, and as we change ourselves, we're changing the world. And so I believe we're bringing heaven to earth. I believe we're coming into a time where everything is shifting and people are starting to awaken to their true divine spiritual nature, and we will manifest heaven on earth. I believe that this time has been prophesized and promised, and there are so many of us following our passion and our calling right now to find our purpose, to help in this shift that is happening. So here's the thing. I'm going to go through some notes. Something I watched by Bruce Lipton, and it's how to create heaven on earth. And so, well, first of all, we've been programmed that, if you live a good life, you're a good person and all these things, that you have a good chance of going to heaven, and that, it's a place that you go when you die. But it's actually a created place. So heaven is creation of the mind, basically, is what Bruce Lipton says. Like, everybody has their own perspective as to what heaven is. But quantum physics and epigenetics reveals that we are an energy field playing through this body, right? So like Nikola Tesla said, when you think of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, because that's actually what we are on a quantum level, living, breathing, biological software. Matter is 99.9% empty space. And see, we're so focused on this and everything outside of us in the material world, in the flesh, that we have forgotten our true divine spiritual nature, all that we actually are and all that we're actually capable of. And we have yet to even begin to tap into our human potential slightly. Okay, so let's keep it going here. So he actually even says there's no such thing as death. Now, I know that's kind of a hard concept to wrap your mind around, but really we are eternal. We're energy. Energy doesn't die, it transforms. So death is an illusion, yeah, though it be a very persistent one. I think Albert Einstein says that. Death is an illusion, though it be a persistent one. We're so connected. We're so focused on the flesh, right? That's why we're like, when the flesh leaves, we think that's it, that's the end. We're so connected to our physical forms, right? But this is just an energy field that playing through this body. This is just our vehicle on this earth, right? And so there's no such thing as death. Death of the body, yes, but the body is just a virtual reality suit, and we operate on or on this physical plane, like I was saying. So what's actually running this physical body? It's consciousness. Consciousness is an energy, right? And so we're not in tune with that energetic side of us. We actually have like 5 different bodies, and an energetic body is one of them. So we have our physical body, our energetic body, our astral body, and then there's like 2 more of them, right? So consciousness is what's actually running this. So consider this. What if we're born into heaven? This is what Bruce Lipton says. And this is what I believe. This is heaven. Earth was made to be heaven. Problem is, as soon as we're born, we're thrown into the system, which I believe is the Antichrist system. The entire system is meant to keep us dumbed down, drugged up, and disempowered. And they, from the beginning, instill in our minds, they program us, indoctrinate us, and put these constructs in our minds, these mental constructs of war and poverty and sickness, and an image of how the world is. And we're taught who to be, how to think, how to feel, and all these things, right? What if we're taught all wrong? And so we're running on all the wrong programs. So Bruce Lipton says, consider we're born into heaven, that we came here to create because that's what we're doing. We are creating. So whether you're aware of it or not, whether you're creating from a subconscious level or from a conscious level, you're creating. So you're creating through your thoughts and through your words. And so you get what you think about, whether you want it or not. Right? So when you become conscious of this, you can actually start to create what you do want rather than what you don't want, by making some mindset shifts and some changes in your life, which aren't easy changes to make, but completely possible, right? So when we're creating it right, when we're doing this right, we can actually create heaven on earth. Problem is, so much of the collective consciousness is caught up in fear and anger and guilt and stress and anxiety and all the lower vibrations, and that is why that's a reflection of the current state of our world, right? So as we start to change ourselves individually, we cause a ripple effect in the collective consciousness, and we can change the world, right? So basically, when what does he say? Don't wait until you die to go to heaven. I believe we're manifesting heaven on earth. So you can literally create anything you want here, right? The desires that are in your heart, your wishes that you have, they're there for a reason. That's your purpose. So follow your passion to find your purpose. So if you do not know that, he says you can create anything you want, but if you do not know that your creations are being controlled, then you become a victim of a world out of control. So we don't understand our power to create, and all these things have been indoctrinated and instilled into us, all these programs, these mental constructs, these culturescapes, as Vishen from Mind Valley puts it, culturescapes. Depending on where you're born, you get different programs instilled into you, depending on not only location geographically, but like your parents and the people you're around and all those things, especially in like the first 7 years of life, all those things are being programmed into you, okay? These are the programs you're going to run off of. And then by the time you're like 35, that's pretty much all set in stone. But, hi kitty. So we are the creators though. So we need to take our power back. We've been taking on the belief system of the Antichrist. Kitty, seriously? The Antichrist system, right? I believe the entire system is the Antichrist. It's a spirit. It's not like a person that's going to come back. The entire system, like I said, is meant to keep us dumbed down, drugged up, and disempowered in lower vibrations, in fear, thinking that we live in a world of poverty and sickness and all these things. Therefore, we create it because we give it our power. So we need to take our power back. We're more powerful than any virus, or the power of the people is stronger than the people in power. Let's say that. So, like I was saying, as a child, under 7, they're in theta, which is a low brainwave state. It's when you're in imagination. It's like a hypnosis state. That's why kids are absorbing everything like a sponge. They're literally taking in everything around them. So the first 7 years are when you're programmed, like I just said, by everyone around you. So it depends where you're born, what your family life is like, and all those things, but you're being programmed. So you're in the subconscious mind, and all the programs are being downloaded into there. And then those behaviors become your beliefs, right? And your beliefs are your mindset. Your mindset is simply a collection of all your beliefs, what you believe to be true about you, what you believe to be true about the world, and what you believe that is possible for yourself and the world. So 95% of what we run off of on a daily basis is subconscious programming. So that's why we self-sabotage and stuff a lot, because we're doing it unconsciously. We're not consciously aware, because we've established these patterns that we just go throughout our day without really giving it much thought. And so when you become consciously aware of the thoughts that you're having and things that are not serving you, habits that aren't serving you, patterns that aren't serving you, emotions and feelings and all those things, then you can consciously begin to reprogram them and change them, right? So only about 5% of what we do on a daily basis is from a conscious creative state. So things come into your life or don't because you have a program. Either you do have a program that supports it or you don't have a program that supports it. And this is why a lot of things, you can want something, but you can't manifest it in your life because you don't have a program. You're not aligned. You're not aligned or in tune with that frequency or vibration, right? So you have to align with it. After the age of 7, you have to practice. So you can reprogram or train the subconscious mind through repetition or hypnosis, like after the age of 7, right? It's not impossible. I've been reprogramming my mind for a good 2 years now. Like, just educating myself, learning, seeking, right? Seek and you shall find. You know the truth, and the truth will set you free. And I believe in my soul that I am setting myself free from all of this crazy madness, which is the 3D world. And I believe that we are ascending and bringing in better energies. We're healing, we're transforming ourselves, and one by one, we're transforming the world. And that's my mission, to transform the world one person at a time, starting with myself. And I believe that's my purpose here. And I'm just going with it, right? And so many of us feel that calling right now. Gratitude every day, affirmations every day. When those things become a habit, you begin to reprogram your mind, right? So are you reading every day, watching good stuff? What are you feeding your mind? What are you feeding your mind, your body, and your spirit? Okay, because it all has an effect on us. The Matrix, he mentions The Matrix. A lot of you know that movie, right? It's not a movie, it's a documentary. I'm not saying we're hooked up to machines, but basically our consciousness, yes, like in a sense, we have to take that red pill, okay, so that we can know the truth and understand that this is a program, this is a system that we've been thrown into. We need to awaken to it, okay? So the goal is to stay in your conscious mind where your mind isn't wandering and you are in control, right? When you start thinking and you're thinking about all the things you got to do or all the things that happened in the past or so on and so forth, you're not in control. You need to be consciously aware, in control of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And if you're feeling things that don't make you feel good, guess what? Consciously choose different thoughts, because when you're feeling not good thoughts, you're going to then get the bad emotions, which are going to lead to the same behaviors, which are going to lead to the same experience, okay? So change your thoughts and you literally change your life. Your beliefs create your thoughts and your thoughts create your reality. Our thoughts are energetic vibrations that we send out into the quantum field, okay? And so the quantum field takes those thoughts and it's like, check, heard, it gives you what you want. So if you're constantly running around complaining about what you don't have, it's going to give you more to complain about not having, right? Those who are grateful will be given in abundance, and those who are not grateful, even what they have, will be taken from them. So you have to weed out the negative emotions, the limiting beliefs, gain control of your thoughts and feelings, like I was saying. So he talks about the honeymoon effect, how quickly you can shift, right? Like if you fall in love and you're madly in love, you're on a honeymoon, everything is so great, but then you got to come back to like reality, go back to your job, and you're like a whole different person. You go back to your old subconscious programming, right? So we can do this. So how do we stay, basically? We have to change the subconscious program so that we can stay in that higher vibrational state, that state of love and bliss, right? You have to take the wishes and desires and make them programs so that you're automatically, without thinking, doing the activities to manifest your desires. Making a daily, journaling ritual, making that a habit, making gratitude a habit, becoming consciously aware of what you're doing, okay? And making a conscious effort to do the activities that are going to lead you towards your goals and your desires. So move from fear to love. That's what's happening right now. This is the shift, okay? We've been trained and conditioned to live in fear. Everything around us is about keeping us in lower vibrations, keeping us dumbed down, drugged up, and disempowered. I'll say it again, the entire system is anti-Christ. The entire system is meant to keep us down and not realizing our full human potential and our divine spiritual nature, okay? So it's meant to keep us focused on the flesh, and we've forgotten all about our spirits. So we got to move from fear to love. And until we change those programs, you will be a victim. In your mind, you're a victim of your circumstance, but it's not about what happened to you. It's about what you do with what happens to you that matters, right? So, until you switch from fear to love, you will remain a victim and not a creator. When you start to make that shift, that's when you understand that you are creating your reality. So you have that choice, though, through free will. It is absolutely your choice, and you can rewrite the programs that you're running off of. So, like I said, I'm not what happened to me. I am who I choose to become. Carl Jung says that as well. He's a famous psychologist. Not sure if he's with us anymore or not, but yeah. Knowledge is power, but more importantly, a lack of knowledge is a lack of power, Bruce Lipton says. And not only that as well, but I'm going to add this. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you're not applying it, it's not going to help you. Knowledge in itself is not power. Knowledge in the application of it is power. It's about having that growth mindset, constantly learning, changing, growing, evolving, and applying what you're learning, to your life. So quantum physics and epigenetics says we are creators, not victims, and we can take our power back. That is what's happening right now behind the scenes. A lot of us feel a calling, an awakening to something greater. More knowledge is more power, so keep the growth mindset, right? All right, let's talk real quick about living in survival versus living in creation, because most people are living in survival. They think we're just here to just work and pay taxes and die, and that's it. They're just concerned about making money to pay for their basic needs. They're not really thinking beyond that. They don't think that they deserve a better life than that. And it's totally fine to be grateful for where you're at, but do not become complacent or stagnant. Always strive for better to keep growing and expanding and evolving. Okay? So there's something called the placebo effect. Many of you are familiar with that. It's our bodies and our minds have the ability to heal themselves, okay? And so a lot of times he says that, I forget what percentage of medications it can even, it's the placebo effect, right? You can give someone a sugar pill and you can give someone a pharmaceutical and you tell them they're going to receive some sort of an effect, they're going to be healed, and you'll get like the same result. It's because they had the belief that it was going to give a given result. And so that is the placebo effect. But then there's also something called the nocebo effect, which is the opposite. You can actually make yourself sick. So if your mind is powerful enough to make itself sick, you can also make yourself better. So every stressful thought shoots down the immune system, okay? Every stressful thought that you have, and this is the problem. We live in a world where we are in stress, in fear, constantly in our, our parasympathetic nervous system. And so we are producing chemicals. We're in the fight or flight, and we're not meant to stay in that state for extended periods of time. We keep releasing chemicals into our bodies, adrenaline and all the things that are preparing us to either fight or run, to protect ourselves. And over time, it says that, wait a minute. So when you're constantly releasing those chemicals, you can actually get addicted to that lifestyle, right? And you can make yourself sick. That's why stress is such a killer. But this is what survival versus creation says, that you are not a victim of your genetics or your environment. You have the capacity to take your power back and transform your life. So, here we go. So let's learn to control our inner world of thoughts and feelings, because like I said, when you're constantly having those negative thoughts and you're in that state in your mind, you're releasing those chemicals, the stress chemicals, the stress hormones that are leading to disease and illness. Okay, so you have to control your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. There's 3 types of stress. There's physical, chemical, and emotional. Physical is like trauma or injury. Chemical is like viruses, bacteria, toxins, things in the environment. And then there's emotional stress, which is like family problems, money problems, being a single parent, things like that. And all of those things knock your brain and body out of homeostasis, which is the natural balance. So stress response is what your body innately does to respond to stress. Like I was saying, it's the fight or flight. It's the sympathetic nervous system. I believe. So all energy is sent to adapt to stress. And if you're sending all your freaking energy to deal with the stresses that you're going through, you're draining yourself. You're not going to have any energy to put towards your dreams, your goals, and your desires. And that's exactly what they want. The mysterious they, right? But we're thrown into this system, and the system's not set up for our good. It's not set up for us to really prosper. So, like I said, all organisms can handle short-term stress, but we're not made to live extended periods of time in stress. And so we need to rest and repair and conserve our energy. And this is when we switch back into the parasympathetic nervous system. So when you turn on the stress response for an extended period of time, now you're on the way to illness and disease. I said that already, right? So living in stress can cause even some of the most severe things that you wouldn't think of. Cancer, lupus, MS. These are all compromised immune systems, diseases or illnesses, because when you're in stress, you are compromising your immune system. You're lowering stress, lowers your body's ability to fight off things naturally. So when you're constantly thinking about your problems, you're turning on the stress response by thought alone, and you're literally making yourself sick by thought alone. So that's the nocebo effect. So you can make yourself sick. The placebo effect is the opposite. You can heal yourself. You can actually make yourself better. So like I said, you become addicted. When you live by the hormones of stress, you actually become addicted to those chemicals, and you become addicted to a life that you don't even like, right? But you have the power to switch that at any time, right? So trade survival emotions for elevated emotions. Survival emotions are like fear, worry, anxiety, depression, all the lower vibrational things, unforgiveness, bitterness, anger, sadness, right? You want to trade those for elevated emotions of joy, love, peace, happiness. Open your heart and feel those higher elevated emotions, love, joy, peace, gratitude. So this will increase your immune system response and begin to repair the immune system. So they've actually done studies on this where they test like IgA levels and cortisol and stress levels, and they test the brain, and they see that this works when you thought alone, when you think higher elevated emotions, when you meditate on things. The Bible says to meditate on all things good, kind, loving, pure. Think of such things. Why? Because your thoughts literally create your reality. As a man thinketh, so shall he become. And when you place your energy, where you place your energy is where you place your attention, right? And so with that being said, if you're placing your energy on lower negative vibrations, you're placing all attention in the 3-dimensional reality. You're not thinking outside the 5th dimension. Heaven on earth is a higher vibrational reality, one where we step out of fear and back into love, which I believe is happening at a massive scale. People are awakening and remembering their true divine spiritual nature right now. So, but when you're in the lower vibrations, like I said, all attention's in the 3D dimensional reality, and then you have to play by the 3D rules. And creation takes time. When you start to raise your vibrations and you start to attract things to you, all of your like dreams and desires will seem like they magically come to you, because we are energy, frequency, and vibration, and like attracts like. And so you will begin to attract better quality things to you. You improve your thinking, right? Literally changing your thoughts changes your life. So, like I said, we've been so focused on matter, on the physical, and we have forgotten our true divine spiritual nature. So, but since we're focused on matter, Bruce Lipton says we're habitually living in emergency mode because we're in this world where we got to go, go, go. We got to go to work. We got to do the dishes. We got to feed the kids. We got to clean up. We got to run our business. We got to pay this bill. We got to do this. We got to do that. Oh my God, I don't have money. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, so we can't stop. We're not stopping. We're not taking that time to get out of that emergency state. And so we're constantly living under these hormones of stress, right? And that's not a time to create. It's not a time to sit still, right? It's not a space to create from. We are creating from fear. The entire collective, basically, the majority is collecting from a state, or is creating from a state of fear. All right. So we need to switch to love, start creating from a space of love. When you're creating from fear, you experience more separation from everyone and everything. You believe that you are separate from the very divine source that created you, when in fact, separation is an illusion. Everything is energy and everything is connected. Everything. So basically, you're sitting around in lower vibrations, you're shifting your attention from one problem to another, and your brain is in a very incoherent state. So I actually have a video, I can post a link in the comments, that I did a few days ago about brain and heart coherence and being able to open up your brain and amplify the electromagnetic field around your heart, to have your brain and your heart working together simultaneously, working together coherently, to manifest things that into your life faster, things that you desire, right? Manifesting from, creating from a state of love and coherence. So, but sadly, people spend 70% of their life in survival. We're all just thrown into this system and we got to work to survive. And that's pretty much it. And that's what we're told, that this is it. But it's not it. Okay? It's not. There's so much more. So much more. So when you stay in the lower vibrations for a few days, that's called a mood. Oh, what's wrong with you? I'm in a bad mood, right? Or when you stay in a higher elevated emotions for a few days and you're super happy, you're in a good mood, right? If you hold on to those emotions, negative emotions, for a few weeks, that's called a temperament. And if you continue to hold on to negative emotions over the course of years, it becomes part of your personality. Your personality creates your personal reality. It's your emotions, your thoughts, and your words. It's all of your things, right? So I'll say that again, your personality creates your personal reality. So if you're holding on to negative emotions over the course of years and years and years, it's going to become part of your personality and you're going to create your reality based on that, okay? So when you're living in fear and stress, you're more matter and less energy. You're living in fear and stress of what? Of all your problems in the material world, instead of remembering your divine spiritual nature and understanding that you're taken care of. Like, everything is working out for your highest good. This is the shift that we need to make. Everything in this world is a divine plan and it's happening for our highest good. And right now, there's such a massive opportunity to up level in your life, to make shifts, to transform your life and to transform the world. I believe truly that this time has been prophesized and promised, and that we will bring heaven to earth as we awaken one by one and take our power back. Okay? But when you become, like I said, when you're living in fear and stress, you're more matter and less energy, more particle and less wave. You're focused on the material world instead of the spiritual world. And when you're matter, trying to control matter, you fight, you compete, you hope, you wish to get the outcome that you want, because you're in separation. All right? You're in separation. So you feel separate. You feel like you have to work to get what you want. And yes, you may accomplish your dreams, but it will take more time and you have to work harder. Whereas if you make when you make these mindset shifts and you switch from fear to love and you start connecting with the infinite source and the quantum field, right? You begin to create from a place of oneness and unity with the divine source that created you, and you start to attract things to you, and as if by magic. Okay, magic, miracles, alchemy, it's all one of the same. I actually have a video that I did on that as well. I believe that magic, miracles, and alchemy, yeah, it's all the same. Something could happen, it's a miracle. Some people might call it magic. Alchemy is just is being able to create miracles in your life. Alchemy is being able to manipulate energy in such a way that you can transmute a negative to a positive using the power of love. Okay? So we can create miracles. And Jesus tells us this in scripture. You see me do these things, but I tell you, you will do these things and things even greater. So we can't be matter trying to control matter, because it's going to be more difficult. We have to connect and align with spirit, with energy. And all right, so then the other state, that was living in survival, where things are hard, right? Things are hard. You're living in stress, you're living in illness and disease. And then there's living in creation, which is the exact opposite of survival. So what if you can go from a narrow, convergent focus to a broader focus, a divergent focus? Reminds me of the movie Divergent. If you haven't seen it, it's a great movie. I consider myself to be somewhat of a divergent. I feel like I'm bypassing this system. Like, I truly feel like I'm setting myself free. This shit is all made up. This reality has simply been constructed in our minds, and whatever we think in our minds, we manifest into the outer world. And so collectively, we agree with poverty and sickness and all those things, and we give it, we speak it into existence. We give it power, okay? So we have the power to change it, and the power of the people is stronger than the people in power. So wake the fuck up, people, so that we can make this shift faster, please. Namaste. No, but expand your awareness, your spiritual awareness. Take your attention off your body and the physical world and go within and start to realize that you're more than just this physical body. You know, religion talks about it. Yeah, we're spiritual beings, right? But I don't think that people are really grasping the full, like, concept. Like, we need to take our energy from the 3D world. We are literally giving all of this stuff power, because, like I said, I believe the system is the Antichrist. The system is meant to keep us dumbed down, drugged up, and disempowered in lower vibrations. So when you open your awareness and tune into the frequency, of energy, causing you to stop thinking, and it causes you to stop thinking and analyzing. We want to not be constantly in our minds thinking and analyzing. We're so hard on ourselves. We need to get beyond our analytical mind. When we can get beyond our analytical mind, Bruce Lipton says that it slows down our brain waves, opening awareness, and it opens different parts of the brain to become more organized and coherent. Again, I'm going to post a link for a video that I did on brain and heart coherence. I'll post that in the comments. When you can get your brain and your heart open and working together, that is when you can really start to begin to manifest the things that you desire. So, and also, you're going to begin to overcome stress and come back into a balance, homeostasis, right? Your body is all out of whack because we live in a stressful world that's based on fear and lower vibrations. So we need to raise our vibrations, and many of us are here at this time to raise the human consciousness, the collective consciousness of humanity, to bring heaven to earth. I don't believe that heaven is a place we go when we die. Jesus says in the Bible that the kingdom is within. It's neither here nor there. It's laid out on the earth and man does not see it. It's a spiritual realm. It's a level of consciousness. It's within. And as within, so without. And so you change your inner world. And I believe you have I believe the second coming of Christ is within. It's a resurrection of that Christ consciousness within you. You awaken to your true divine spiritual nature and your power. You take your power back. And as we do this one by one, break free from the system, we will create a new world. We are shattering the old paradigms. We're taking our power back from that illusionary system, okay? That illusionary reality that has been fabricated and pulled over our eyes to keep us from seeing the truth. So, like I said, when you're living in stress, you narrow your focus and you experience separation. Separation is an illusion. We are one with the divine. We are one with the very source that created us. We're all a piece. If God is the ocean, we're all a drop. Or like Wayne Dyer says it, a bucket of the ocean. Is a bucket of what? If you take a bucket into the ocean, you scoop a bucket out, is it still not ocean? Yes, it is. That's what we all are. Everything is God. Everything is energy. We are all a piece of it, manifested here on earth to experience life. That's why spirit works through us. It's all energy, frequency, and vibration. Quantum physics, guys. It's mind-blowing. But this is what I believe to be the truth. And so we want to move from separation into unity, oneness, and love, where we can create from that space. When you're in separation, you're only determining reality through your five senses. So you're stuck in the material world. You're stuck in the flesh. And those who live according to the flesh will die according to the flesh. And those who live according to the spirit will have life eternal. We'll realize that death is an illusion and what we are is eternal. Eternal spiritual beings having a temporary human experience. Okay? So, and we're also living in cause and effect, but that's the old model of reality. We're waiting on the environment to change to give us relief. We're looking to everything outside of us to change. Well, I'll be happy when this change, or if that person's not president, or when this happens or that happens, or X, Y, Z. No, like, you have to change your inner world first. Be happy now. Feel the feelings now to manifest what you want. Okay? You have to believe it to see it, not you see it and then you believe it, right? So, from the discomfort we're feeling inside of us in survival, we crave the known because the unknown is scary. Bruce Lipton says, right? So, yeah, we stick to our comfort zones because doing anything different seems too scary. Trying to break free, but I tell you, it's worth it. I can tell you from experience. I know that I'm transforming my life. But from creation, we're connected with the divine, and there's health, there's order, and regeneration taking place in the body. In a heartfelt state, we tend to be less selfish and more selfless. Our attention is no longer on the material world. Like I've been saying, we're so stuck on the material world, looking on everything outside of us to change. Guess what? We can't change our outer world. But if you change your inner world, your outer world will follow suit. As within, so without. As above, so below. This is quantum physics, metaphysics. This is why I believe the Bible is a book of metaphysics, and it's just not being understood and applied properly. These are my beliefs, so do your own research and form your own beliefs. I always encourage people to do that. This is what's working for me. So take what resonates and leave the rest, please. The brain and heart begin to go back into coherence. Again, I'm going to post a video about brain and heart coherence in here. There was another video that I wanted to post. Which one was it? I don't know. I'll go back. I'll post them in the comments. But when your brain and heart are in coherence, this is the place that you want to create from. You want to create from a space of love, not from fear. And the system is set up to keep us in fear. And that's freaking obvious. Like, what the heck is actually going on in the world right now? We are programmed from birth, thrown into the Antichrist system, dumbed down, drugged up, and disempowered. We have forgotten our true divine spiritual nature. We need to awaken to our true authentic selves, speak our truth, face our fears. And if you feel like you're being called to do something right now, it's because you are. So seek guidance. You're not alone. You're here to change the world, and it starts with changing yourself. So how do we manifest heaven on earth? One person at a time, baby. We transform the world one person at a time, starting with ourselves. And with that, my baby's awake. So have a beautiful Saturday. Much truth, love, and light, and namaste.